Hey everyone, it's great to be back. I've got a lot I want to share and take as much time as necessary to share it. And I feel you'll appreciate what I have to share. It's been a long time. I'm really glad to be back. And we just want to sit for a few minutes in silence, space together, and ground in a space of presence together. Really fully be here together. Pay attention to the breath. Slow, deep breaths into the bottom of the stomach. And I'll have a lot to share with words shortly. But right now we want to commune and connect in a space without words, which is a space we're going to be connecting with more and more in the coming months. This deep field of presence, of really truly being here together. Ground in the being, allowing the thoughts to come and go like white puffy clouds passing through the blue infinite sky. Your emotions, emotional body, emotional energetic field to come and go. Like the river runs through the creek, endlessly flowing, while the creek bed remains unchanging, while the infinite blue sky remains unchanging as the infinite essence, while the white puffy clouds of all different shapes and sizes appear, float across the sky, and disappear back again. Allow everything that has a form and a shape and a size and a boundary to arise and appear and disappear, to come and to go. Bringing awareness to awareness itself, bringing awareness to the essence of who we truly are. When no words remain, when no concepts remain, when no stories remain, when no ideas remain, when no thoughts remain, when no emotions remain, when no experiences remain, when no form or shape or size or physical body remains, this essence, which is the essence of ourselves, remains. Without beginning or end, without coming or going, unchanging, unfettered, untouched by anything that comes or goes in the world of form, and yet is the root source of expression and creation and creative fire of everything in the world of form: beauty, love, peace, happiness, sadness, joy, fear, courage, full range, the full realm of duality of yin and yang. So when we meditate together, we're forming a space of unconditional relationship with this moment, an unconditional relationship with the now, which really means an unconditional relationship with life itself. Because life is only ever truly happening in this moment, right now. Allowing everything to be as it is, with the deepest sense of unconditional love, inner peace, absolute liberation, freedom, and empowerment. There's a power that emanates from the electromagnetic frequency of the heart. And when hearts are in a field of presence together, presence creates a resonance, which creates an attunement, whether we are in the same physical room together or whether we are 3,000, 6,000, 9,000 miles apart in separate rooms with each other. When we tune into this field of presence together, when we are paying focalized awareness, putting our focalized awareness attention to each other or to a centralized point together, if there's the feeling of isolation, aloneness, and separateness. And out of this field of resonance, this field of attunement that we co-create together, there's an intelligence that comes into being, that forms, that's exponentially more powerful than if there was a sense of separation and aloneness and isolation. And from this field of intelligence that's brought into being, that's created this field of resonance, this magnetic field that didn't previously exist, this intelligence speaks. And the speaking is co-created by our field of presence, by our resonant field of awakened listening, of attentiveness, of awareness, of relaxed presence and excitement, of curiosity, of self-discovery. And this is where the magic and the miracles arise. I like seeing the folks from Europe and Japan and the eastern part of the world come into being as I'm in here a little bit later than normally. So I know a lot of people that used to see me at 12:30 aren't necessarily on right now. And I'm getting this message that the connection is weak, but our hearts, the connection of our hearts is strong, so I feel like we'll be fine. So I want to share a few things, and a lot of people will see this who aren't here live, but it's easier to communicate this way, speaking it out, than trying to type it out or write it out. So the last live video I did here was over a month ago, and before that there was a great sense of momentum and energy and inspiration and excitement. A lot of people writing me, really loving this new format, this new way of communicating and sharing, and I was loving it too. And then it stopped, and the question is, what happened? A lot of people were writing me personal messages, interested and curious how I was doing, if I was okay. And so as much time as I have to share here, I want to share because a lot's happened. A lot has happened. A lot has opened. A lot has awakened. A lot has shifted. And a lot is continuing to open. A lot is continuing to awaken. A lot is continuing to shift. There's a process of deep, deep transformation that's happening inside me and been happening inside me. And it required a lot of quiet, a lot of really deep quiet, a lot of inward space, a lot of contemplation, meditation, and allowing for this transformation to come into being, and really following this deep sense of integrity, of being true moment by moment by moment to what wants to arise, even if what wants to arise is different than what we think or what we've known or the way we thought or what the routine's been. Just really paying attention with this integrity to be in this space of presence, moment by moment by moment, allowing whatever wants to come through us next, whatever the next chapter is, whatever the next evolution. Okay, I think we're back. Whatever, whatever the next evolution is, to allow it to come into being. So, on the physical level, life will bring you into that space. It will open you up to that space. It will create the conditions in a nice, easy, gentle way, or in a very rough, abrasive, shocking, jarring way, to bring you into the space to look in, to feel into what's next when that's time, when that moment is here to be brought into being. So one of the common ways that happens is through physical illness, physical pain, of course, also emotional pain, which causes us to stop, to slow down, to look within, to feel within, and to feel into who we really are, what we're really called into being, and what's next. So when that happens, in my case, there was this sense of a lot of physical pain, illness of various sorts, all sorts of different varieties. Started with intense dental pain. I had issues with the stomach, congestion. These are all different phases and periods. But amidst that, there's this really quiet sense of going within, of not really having any desire for an outward movement, for an outward motion, not much desire to express anything. This feeling of nothing really needing to be communicated, of the sense of depth, of silence, of spaciousness, of stillness inside, and resting in that, more and more deeply, and starting to see things in a new way, starting to open to seeing things in a new way. So there's a few things that I saw that I can communicate now, and maybe more in a future video. So one thing that I saw was that, or not saw but felt, was an openness to or I should say a calling to be more human, to express more of a humanness, to express more of a genuineness, more of a vulnerability, more of a rawness and nakedness, and that there was a calling for that, and there was something valuable in that. So, and it wasn't an intellectual, or it was more just like a heart opening, and is a heart opening, and will continue to be rooted in the heart. So that's an exciting new movement that's happening. And this deep call of community, which was my initial calling, my initial intention, and this feeling of we're called to come together, to bring each other together, to open to share with each other, and to break down this idea of this illusion of entertainer and audience. So with the reignition of this, think of the breaks as kind of like spaces to meditate. And meanwhile, maybe I can find a better spot somewhere around here that could work better. Usually this spot works perfect, and somehow it's not working perfect today. But anyway, this sense of community, this calling for community and to bring people together. And what I was finding is that this format, meaning Facebook, really isn't conducive to creating a sense of community, even though that's what the intention is. That's what it's supposed to be about. That's what the rise of Facebook was supposed to be bringing us, what it was called to be bring. That's actually, in fact, not at this point what it's based on or what it's about. Facebook has been put onto Wall Street and has been made public as a company. And since that point, a few years back, everything has been changing with Facebook and the way that it's used, or the way that it's intended to be used through the company itself. So where Facebook was initially, when I first got interested in it, a way to connect people with each other, people of like hearts, people of the same interests, it is no longer a way to connect people with each other. The idea of Facebook is not to connect you with each other. It's to create the illusion of connecting us with each other, in order for us to stay on Facebook as long as possible. And the idea is to stay on Facebook as long as possible to be seeing as many advertisers as possible. That's really what the point is now. So the algorithm has changed to make it less and less and less people that are seeing each other's posts. And then from that point, what it's become is, instead of a place of connecting and community and dialogue and discussion and exchange, it's really become a place for people to engage in their own narcissism, to engage in the idea of being seen, a competition to get more likes, to get noticed, to get more attention than the other person. So it's actually become the opposite of communion and connection, and actually it has fostered and intensified separation, and it's fostered and intensified this sense of projecting the image of oneself more importantly than the actual communication and connection with each other. So the projection of your story, of your image, of how you want to be perceived and how you want to look is more important than actually connecting on a deep heart level, on a connection on an intimate level, on a connection on a vulnerable level, and a connection of real human interaction. And so Facebook's become really the antithesis of what I'm interested in and what I'm excited about. It's essentially a barrier, really, to that. Though it can still be used in certain ways to foster the true sense of communion and community and self-reflection and self-realization and self-actualization. So if you notice, even though I haven't really been posting much of my writings or anything in the past month, I'm posting ways for people to connect with each other genuinely, come together in retreats, come together in spaces of communion, come together in spaces in meditation with each other in a real, genuine, heart-centered way that opens us up to the collective consciousness, the unity consciousness that is beyond the illusionary separation of the ego. So that's what's exciting, and that's what's exciting to me. And there's a whole new level that's opening up that's really exciting. And it's grounded in this deep sense of stillness inside. It's grounded in this deep sense of connection and communion inside. It's grounded in this deep sense of self-realization, of awareness of our true essence, of who we are, and sharing and expressing from that place. And there's a deepening into that space, and I don't know where it's going or where it's taking us. There was a point where I didn't know if I would be, like a month ago, I didn't know if I would be sharing in this way at all anymore. There wasn't any real motivation. There wasn't any inspiration to be sharing on Facebook or anywhere else. Thought maybe I'd just be in the woods and work with my hands or something. I had no idea. Just a sense of presence, moment by moment. And